Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel on Advanced Excel. In today's video, we are going to discuss a function called Vstack, and this Vstack function is available to users of Office 365. So those of you who have not shifted to Office 365, I highly recommend that you should shift to Office 365 to unleash all those useful functions. Now this Vstack, as the name itself suggests, that this function stacks data vertically. So what it does, it combines multiple arrays and it makes those arrays a one array, and the syntax is very simple, is equal to vstack. Here it is, it vertically stacks arrays into one array. So vstack tab, my first array is this, which is basically a data of just random data of students and their scores, and the second array is this from class 2. I complete parenthesis, enter. So it has stacked these two arrays and it has made one array out of these two arrays, right? So now we do not have a header rows here, and there are two ways of including header row. The simplest way is, when we select this first array, we can simply take this header row along with the array and press enter. So here it is. And the long cut way is, we can manually type those header rows or header labels into a curly bracket and in quotes say name, then exam, then maths, then science, and last is marks in percentage, in percent. I close quotes and I'll close those curly brackets and I'll give a comma, and then the arrays are there, and this A4 I'll change this to A5 because we already have this header rows written inside the curly brackets, and enter. So these are the two ways by which you can include the header rows in your Vstack. So this is basically a very common or a very elementary use of Vstack, but we can make this Vstack more useful as we combine this with other functions in Office 365. So let's go to this example. Now Vstack with sort. So I am starting with Vstack. Now we already have header row here. So Vstack tab. Now my array 1 is beginning at A5. So I am pressing Ctrl J. This is a shortcut thing, keyboard shortcut F5, and I'll select the array. My another array, there is a second array, is beginning at cell A13. So Ctrl G, A13, enter. Here it is. I will complete parenthesis and enter. And now that we have this two datas or two sets of arrays stacked into one, we can now sort this data based on the marks in an ascending manner. So simply press F2, sort. Now the marks in percentage is the fifth column, so comma 5, and because I want it in a descending manner, that is highest first, so I'll give -1, complete parenthesis and enter. So you can use Vstack with sort, right? The next thing is, you can use Vstack with sum. So imagine that you want sum of maths for all students of class 1 and 2. So how you can do? Vstack. Now because we just want maths scores, so this is my first array, comma, this is the second array, we'll complete parenthesis and enter, and because we want sum, we'll simply prefix this to with sum. So sum tab, come to end of this function, complete parenthesis, enter. So this is how you can have a Vstack with sum. Then you can also have a Vstack with unique. So you can see here name of A is appearing twice, one in the class 1 and class 2. So we'll again start with Vstack tab. My array is this, then the second array is this, control complete parenthesis, enter. And to remove the duplicates and make it unique, you simply prefix unique to this Vstack, unique tab, end of this function, complete parenthesis, enter. So this is Vstack with unique. Now we can also do Vstack with filter, and these two examples are interesting. So imagine that we want to do a Vstack of these two arrays, and then we want to take out only this same one result. So how we can do? So we'll start with Vstack. Tab, my first array, we already have a header row here, so it begins at A5. Enter. I am selecting that array. Second array starting at A13, again Control G, A13, enter. I'll select this array, complete parenthesis, enter. And now because we want only same one, I am going to integrate this Vstack with filter. So is equal to filter tab, filter asks for array which is given by Vstack. It has combined both these arrays. I will come to end of this function, and again because we want only scores of same, I am again using Vstack tab. Now my array for this include argument is the exam column, comma, and second array is the exam column of class 2. I will complete parenthesis and a logical question: how many of you are equal to same one? Now this condition is a non-case sensitive, so I will complete parenthesis here and enter. So here we have, so we have only got the results of or the records of same one. Now imagine that we want a result of science where students has scored more than 60. So here in the same Vstack, the first Vstack remains the same. Now what is happening here is I have used Vstack two times. First Vstack is selecting those arrays, and the second Vstack will take out the records which satisfies this condition. So this Vstack is for the condition, and this Vstack from where we want to extract the record. So now in this particular scenario, what we can do is I am just deleting this second Vstack, and I will say again Vstack tab. Now this time my array will be science course in both the classes. So this is the first array, comma, this is the second array. I will complete parenthesis and the logical question: how many of you are greater than 60? So this C record will be removed, and I will complete parenthesis and enter. Here it is. So we can use Vstack with filter to get a conditional filtering of the stack data, right? Then coming to the next example. Now in Vstack you may have blank rows in an array. So here that first record is missing, and in the class 2 the last record is missing, and we want to exclude those empty rows. How we can do? Again I will start with the normal Vstack tab, Control G, A5 is the first cell of my first array. I select that range, comma, the second array is beginning at A13 cell. Again I will select that thing, the array, and complete parenthesis, enter. And to remove those zeros or blank rows, we can again use filter here. Filter array is given by Vstack, and the second Vstack will exclude those blank rows. So again Vstack tab. Now my array to exclude those rows will be this name rows, and comma, the second array will be this. I will complete parenthesis, and the logical question is how many of them are not blank. So double quotes, I will complete parenthesis and enter. So this row number 1 which is blank is gone, and this last row it is also gone, and we only have the records which are not empty. Okay, so this is how you can use Vstack. Again here same thing, I have used Vstack two times. This first Vstack is only stack data of these two arrays, and the second Vstack is taking care of the include argument or a conditional filter, right? Then coming to errors. Now remember friends, whenever you are using this Vstack, you have to ensure that the number of columns in all the table arrays are same. So you cannot have say 5 columns in one array, 3 columns in second array, and again 6 or 7 columns in third array. That cannot happen, and if you do things like that, the Vstack is going to throw error. So I am starting with Vstack once again, tab, this is my first array, comma, this is the second array without header row, and completing parenthesis, enter. So here it is, because the second array does not have 5 columns, the Vstack is giving errors, and to remove those errors you can simply integrate this Vstack with if na, here it is, and if the result of this formula is na, we'll say just give me blank cells or give me nothing, here it is, or you may say give me missing data and enter. So this is how you can deal with any errors in the Vstack, right? So please ensure that all the arrays have the same number of columns. The number of rows can differ. Okay, so one array may have 100 rows, another array may have say just 50 rows. That is completely okay. But number of columns in those array has to be same. Then coming to Vstacks and choose columns. So this is interesting. So suppose I want only name, exam and marks in percentage. So how we do? We start with normal Vstack, again same A4. So I am including that header row, and Control G, again A13. I am excluding that header row, complete parenthesis, enter. And because we want only first, second and fifth column, we can very well use here choose columns function and come to end of this function, comma 1 first column for name, comma 2 for exam, and comma 5 for marks in percentage, complete parenthesis, enter. So we can use Vstack with choose columns. Then next is Vstack with XLOOKUP. Now this is interesting, and simply I cannot simply complete this video without showing you example of XLOOKUP and VLOOKUP, right? So first we'll see XLOOKUP. So we want entire record of H. How we can do is equal to, I'll say XLOOKUP tab. XLOOKUP will look for this particular H, and the lookup array will be taken care by Vstack. So Vstack tab. Now the array for Vstack is going to be this and this, two arrays. I'll complete parenthesis. So lookup array is taken care by one Vstack, and return array will be taken care by another Vstack. So comma Vstack, and because we want the entire record of H, my first array will be this entire array in class 1, and second array will be entire array in class 2. I'll complete parenthesis, and because we are doing XLOOKUP, which stands for exact lookup, I am not bothered about those other conditions which are not mandatory. I'll complete parenthesis, enter. Here it is. So we can use Vstack here to combine these two arrays and make them one, so that the XLOOKUP is able to find that H in the combined or stacked data of class 1 and class 2. And this is, I find this particular use of Vstack very useful, because imagine that now I am having only two arrays. If you are having 5, 10, 20 arrays, you can simply use Vstack, combine all those arrays together, and then XLOOKUP or VLOOKUP will find the record for you, right? So this is XLOOKUP and Vstack two times, where one Vstack takes care of the lookup array and the second Vstack take care of the result array. And lastly, Vstack, VLOOKUP and XMatch. So again, suppose we want to find mass of G in maths, but maybe we may want to find the marks of G in science or his marks in percentage. How we can do? So is equal to VLOOKUP tab, lookup value is G, comma. Now my table array, we know for VLOOKUP your lookup array and the result array, the table array should consist of both these things, isn't it? So I am starting with Vstack tab. My first array is this entire array from class 1. The second array is this. I am completing parenthesis here. Okay, so we have included the name as well as all these columns for VLOOKUP. Now comma, so far as column index number is concerned, I am using XMatch here. Tab, the lookup value is this particular header. It will look for this lookup array in this particular row, and because we are having a uniform header row in class 1 as well as in the class 2 array, so we can just select one. You don't have to select both. And XMatch, like XLOOKUP, is also stands for exact match. So I am simply completing parenthesis here. So this will take care of the column index number in VLOOKUP, and we want exact match, so 0. I'll complete parenthesis, enter. So G has scored 95 marks in maths. Here it is 95 marks in maths, and if it is science, it will be 80. So I'm just copying here. Here it is. So using Vstack, we are able to do VLOOKUP as well as XLOOKUP. So friends, these are the 8-10 examples I have given so far as Vstack is concerned. A basic use of Vstack is very limited, but if you combine these functions with XLOOKUP, VLOOKUP and all other functions in Office 365, then the usefulness is simply doubled. So I believe this video is useful for you. I am leaving Excel file link for you to download. So what you can do is you can download the file and then you can play the video and practice together. So I believe this you must have found this video to be very useful. So give me thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and also hit that bell icon to get future updates. Take care. Bye.